Hey sailors, welcome to the crew. I'm Sealord Janda, and this is my Let's Play of Rule the Waves 3 as the United States. We're at war with Germany and Spain, and both sides have been rushing all of their forces into the Caribbean in preparation to fight over Guantanamo Bay and Puerto Rico. Unfortunately, we just lost a battleship to a torpedo attack at night, but we should still have enough forces to continue intercepting Spanish convoys on their way to Cuba. Is finished. Okay, we have a huge monthly balance surplus. We're going to need to build something. I'm going to build a second Lexington for a start because we have the money. So Congress is being laid down. More armored cruisers, maybe? I'm so hesitant to build more capital ships without... Okay, everybody's starting to build significant numbers of dreadnoughts, though. We probably just need to design a dreadnought with wing turrets and bite the bullet. Yeah, something like this, basically, except 12-inch belt, minimum. 2-inch deck, and I'm not even convinced it shouldn't be more, but maybe call it a 2.5-inch deck. I'm aware that this is horrifyingly breaking our everything, but I'll deal with that in a second. So that puts us 3,200. Oh my god, this would have to be almost 30,000 tons to work. Okie dokie. Oh, well, you know what? I don't need 21 knots. I don't even need close to 21 knots. Okay, this we could get to work on 25,000 tons, but we only have 21,000. Okay, we're probably going to have to accept a 2-inch belt. Or deck. Still not even close, huh? The secondaries really ought to have some armor, at least for blast shielding. 23.8. Whew. Building a dreadnought on 21,000 tons is pretty tough, actually. It's a good thing I started upgrading our docks again. I'm going to try to get it down to 22,000 tons so that we can start building it in 10 months. Although we could have 10 centerline turrets by then, so... Can we not put these in turrets yet? Nope. For some reason I was able to on a few ships, but something is different about them, I assume. We could almost kind of sort of do it if I settled for that belt, but I don't like it. I'm not going to build a terrible compromise design either. Although I kind of am with these Lexingtons, but is anything wrong with the San Diego design? Just that they're about to be horribly surpassed by battle cruisers. Ah. Now this is something, though. What's my possibilities on a fast, modern... Oh, good grief. No wonder it's so overweight. Holy cow. What are my possibilities on a fast, modern armored cruiser? It would be very heavy. However, this would be much more able to survive in an era of battle cruisers than my existing armored cruisers. And it's not a terrible compromise, necessarily. Well, it's still like, can I get a third centerline turret? On a... No, I have to put these in casemates. Okay. I can get a third centerline turret, though, even though it makes the design really ugly, but... However, it does end up displacing 12,400 tons. And it barely has more firepower than any existing armored cruiser. This is just a really awkward phase in the transition period. I'm probably not going to love anything I build. I'm going to save that design because I might come back to it, but I'm not going to build it yet. I'd like to look at light cruisers. Our existing best light cruiser is the Olympia class with 10 6-inch guns, 10 3-inch guns, 3-inch belt, 22 knots. Yeah, see, well, okay, this is horrible. I'm going to make it design something different. This is a little better. This is quite a lot better, actually. And a lot heavier, but 3-inch belt, 1.5-inch deck. Little, oh my god. I really feel like the turrets should at least have as thick of armor as the belt does, though. Maybe we can cut a couple guns out, to be honest, because how many does it have? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 6-inch guns? In all honesty, we could probably cut a pair of those out. "27 knots is impressive. I actually like that, though. Oh, God, no torpedo defense. I'm going to sacrifice a knot of speed to give us a chance of getting torpedo defense on here. Okay. This I like, actually. 26 knots, which gives her a much better chance of actually staying away from modern battle cruisers. 10 6-inch guns, slightly better layout than any of our current cruisers. Heavier secondary armament, too, I think. Unless... No, I think our current ones have 3-inch guns, so... That's an upgrade. This is the Dreadnought era. 3-inch belt, 1.5-inch deck, which, I mean, yeah, these guns actually have no trouble penetrating that belt at this point, but, what city should I name this after? Tacoma's fine. Okay, we're going to build those. And I guess while we're at it, we should pour some more destroyers out, because our fleet is still outnumbered, and I think we invented the 700-ton destroyer. Yeah. Although, I don't know if we have enough, like, stuff to make it worthwhile. These make 29 knots with 2 3-inch and 4 2-inch guns. Whoa. None of that is what I wanted to do. What does the auto generator come up with? 30 knots. Same armament, plus a couple of port and starboard mounts. I don't care if it has a narrow belt, it has no armor. You know what? Let's give it a normal belt. Did that fix it? Yep. Okay. So same armament, plus a couple of extra torpedo mounts on the port and starboard side, plus it makes 30 knots. Okay. I want to build this class. Is Cassine the destroyer we just lost? It's kind of fitting that it'd be named after that, actually. Oh, excellent. We're finally proficient in gunnery. Now, hopefully we can actually generate... I would like us to generate a oil firing. Oh, good grief. Okay. And light cruiser armor configuration, so I can stop calling everything... being indecisive whether to call things protected or light cruisers. Indecisive engagement between the German and Japanese navies. However, the Japanese have sunk the Spanish corvette Schwan. There's raiders running about all over the place. It did not generate any battle. Okay. Start me off by building 11 of these immediately. 10 new ones and 1 to replace the one we just lost. They've still got 4 battleships here. I'm really surprised it's not generated a battle with them, honestly. They've only got 1 there again. I don't know where they all went. Oh, wait, they better not be headed for... They are headed for the Caribbean. Shoot. Okay. In that case, this whole fleet that's sitting in the west coast is going to need to make for the Caribbean in, like, hot pursuit of them, basically. The ones that can actually move, that is, which... Not the destroyers, the Michigans, but whatever. Everybody that can, anyway. And I think I just took that... No? I swear I took that off of trade protection duties, but apparently not. However, it is headed for the Caribbean, so... Why not? No. Why, though? Just stay where you are. Okay, I think I just canceled... No, I didn't cancel everyone's moves. Okay. Hopefully the right ships will move. We'll see. We are short a ship in trade protection. Maybe that destroyer I lost was on trade protection. I don't know. You know what? I'm just going to throw all of the immobile destroyers on trade protection, because they're not really doing anything else. Japan is certainly helping out. I mean, they're throwing their fleets all over the world. Oh boy. This had better be in daylight, is all I'm saying. And honestly, there'd better be German battleships here. I think because it's in sport of land combat, we're maybe more likely to generate Spanish forces. But, okay, so we have our 3 remaining California-class battleships. We have the armored cruisers Charlotte, Frederick, and Pueblo, which are scattered in a scouting formation out ahead of us. Yeah. We have the Japanese armored cruisers Alba, Aso, and Azuma. We have our light cruisers Cincinnati and Baltimore, and we have 9 destroyers. Japan has an additional 4 destroyers. So we got 3 battleships, 6 armored cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 13 destroyers. And once again, it appears we're headed to intercept a convoy. Hopefully this convoy will have a real escort. It is daylight. It's 6 a.m., so it should be daylight for the whole battle. That should greatly reduce our chances of getting torpedoed by a destroyer that I never saw properly. Okay, we've spotted them. I'm immediately telling our armored cruisers to please get out of this ridiculous scout formation and into a nice line ahead formation, because I need them to work as a fighting force. I forgot I'm also commanding the Japanese ones. How good are these Japanese ones? Oh, are these all this class? No, this one has 7-inch guns. And the last one also has 7-inch guns, but is smaller. So that's 3 different classes. All right. Why not? I assume that's a scouting destroyer or something. We are in the strait right between Cuba and Hispaniola, so logical place to run into a Spanish convoy, really. Presumably they're trying to resupply Guantanamo Bay. That is the direction they're headed, yeah? Okay, they're resolving slowly. I see several. I doubt that's a BB, considering Spain doesn't have one, but let's give our scouts the benefit of the doubt, maybe. No, they're just incompetent, but there might be battleships. Well, it doesn't make sense, of course, that we would misidentify a battleship as a dreadnought battleship before there's any dreadnought battleships, but it's in the game's code, and it sort of makes other sense. Oh, it's not even, though. It's an armored cruiser. Okay. It's a bunch of destroyers and about 2 armored cruisers in there, plus 1 light cruiser. If that's really all that's here, we're just going to, as long as we actually stay at a distant enough range to not get torpedoed, we're just going to shred them. I mean, there's no chance a force like that has against us in open combat. Okay, let's maneuver and try not to get torpedoed. Okay. This is really just Charlotte, because Pueblo and, well, Frederick's right behind her. That's one of their new Cataluna-class armored cruisers. It's pretty nice, but not probably as nice as Charlotte. No, I wouldn't say so. However, we've got to be wary of that whole giant destroyer force. This light cruiser is completely worthless, so I'm not worried about them. Okay, we're going to turn. I assume that this one is hopefully too crippled to fire torpedoes at us, so we're going to turn that way. The battleships are just coming on towards the convoy. The Japanese armored cruisers are going to cut south of the convoy. You two get out of screen and into a line ahead. And maybe also cut south of the convoy. I see an armored cruiser there. What? Oh, okay. Sure. I don't care if you're... The problem is if they're not in, like, core or independent, they have a tendency to snap out of line ahead for some reason, but... Frederick, you should really just join the formation here, but alright. Sure. What the heck? I'm a merciful. Did I just detach 2 to pick up survivors from that 1 destroyer? That's a little much. Unless we actually sank 2 already. Now, what we don't want is the sort of chaos we had in our last convoy attack. Why Pueblo is doing that, I do not know. We need to take these merchants out without getting torpedoed by destroyers lurking amongst their ranks. Fortunately, our battleships are too far behind to get torpedoed, but okay, where? A bunch of their destroyers and their light cruiser are sort of stuck against the tip of Cuba here. That's fine. There is 1 armored cruiser. There is the other armored cruiser. It appears Cincinnati and Baltimore are currently soloing them, but the Japanese armored cruisers are right here, not too far behind. And Charlotte and Frederick, at least, have actually managed to form up and are on the north side of the convoy. We're hitting the convoy from both sides. It's going to die very quickly. The question really, however, is whether we can kill the escorts of the convoy. If we can actually get rid of all the Spanish ships in the Caribbean, maybe we'll finally start generating battles against the German ships, which are what I really want to fight. I mean, I want the Spanish possessions, but I want to fight Germany because Spain's fleet is hopeless. So that's so many hits on merchant ships. Okay. Realistically, I think we've already sunk 6, but sometimes they take a lot of hitting. Okay. Principe de Asturias is to our south. Cataluna has circled around to our north just in time to be directly engaged by all 3 of our battleships, which looks like probably an unfortunate situation for her. Baltimore and Cincinnati both just launched torpedoes at merchant ships, which is dumb. But oh well. This is the price I pay for not having things on manual, basically. Alright, yeah, I think we've pretty much sunk the whole convoy. Everybody is shooting at... All 3 of these battleships are shooting at this armored cruiser. It's going to die, I think. Hopefully it doesn't manage to hit us with a submerged torpedo or anything wild like that. We are pretty close in. Torpedo range is... Yeah, we're probably in torpedo range, but... Okay, everybody up here is past the convoy. They're going to need to turn south so we can try to engage Princesa de Asturias. Not a very good armored cruiser. I mean... If we could clear... The cruisers are my focus, but if we could clear some of these destroyers out, that would be helpful, too. I am guessing this poor cruiser is very dead. Thinking maybe the battleships should turn and try to deal with that mess up against the coast. They've got a destroyer escort, so that should be alright. Although they'll get out of sighting range at this. Maybe send the Japanese to deal with that mess, because it looks dangerous, and send the battleships down to keep with the rest of the fleet. Only because there's a bunch of destroyers doing some weird stuff up here. So our super valuable allies, Japan, can tank the unlucky torpedo hit this time, if it comes to that. Oh, Pueblo, you're so close to actually linking up with Frederick and Charlotte. I don't know why Princesa de Asturias is even attempting to fight this, but it's very easy to let your forces get pretty scattered if you're not paying close attention here. These guys are going to run away far enough that the Japanese are going to be out of our spotting range and we're going to lose them, but that's fine. I'd rather get Princesa de Asturias than the light cruiser. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't mean to tell Pueblo to keep going this way, but it seems to have worked out. We've kind of got them trapped on both sides here now. She's starting to wallow a bit, zigzagging. We're landing hits. Oh, God. I'm not really in command of the Japanese anymore, but this sort of thing is why I sent them to do this. They've done this. If those destroyers were competently led, they could probably torpedo half the Japanese cruisers right now. However, in reality, it seems like the Japanese are just shooting up that light cruiser really badly, so, maybe it'll work out just fine. Okay. I think we've probably sunk the Princesa de Asturias. There's still destroyers here. They're going to be hard to hit. I think we sank a couple of destroyers earlier in the battle. I doubt we'll get more now because they'll just run away without a cruiser to protect. But we can try. We'll keep shooting at them. The Japanese have cleared their run against the coast and are shooting at that now. And, that whole force of destroyers is sneaking south along the coast. We might have a better chance of intercepting them than of intercepting the ones that are way out at sea. What are the Japanese spotting exactly? They're just spotting the destroyers that are stuck against the coast, I think. That's where the convoy was. That's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 sunken ships there altogether. A lot of them are transports. Some of them aren't. I don't think we've lost any ships. I haven't counted our destroyers exactly, but we haven't lost any heavy units. Looks like all our destroyers are still there. We had 9, right? I didn't close any pop-ups about anything sinking either, but I feel like maybe those don't come up as reliably as they did in previous games. Okay, yeah, there is this whole column along the coast here. We might be able to just sort of flatten them against the coast, The AI gets real weird pathfinding sometimes around coastal areas. Surprised that that light cruiser hasn't sunk, to be honest, but just the Japanese shot it up pretty well, but whatever. If we could finish this by sinking that light cruiser and those 3 destroyers, that would be a great day overall. I think the Aragon is dead. Even if that torpedo doesn't hit her. Which it didn't because she slowed down so much due to damage. These destroyers might get away again. That one's going to get probably a little stuck or something. Sort of did, but got away anyway. We'll see if we can get any hits to chase one or two of them down. I could just detach my destroyers, but there wouldn't be any guarantees of... my destroyers aren't that much better than theirs, so that could just be an equivalent exchange sort of combat. The Japanese have gotten up to there now. They're still engaging that solitary corvette. Good for them, I guess. Sure, pick up survivors. Why not? We do get bonus points for picking up survivors. You know, it's not just a humanitarian decision. I see the destroyers have reversed course and are trying to run for Guantanamo Bay again. That was stupid of them. Because, alright. It's getting a little ridiculous, guys. My whole fleet is right here, although they are going to get mighty close to my battleships. What's torpedo range? Okay, we're in it, so turn away, please. Holy cow, you guys are just... We sank one. The other one might get through, but whatever. I'm not overly, even Spain has like 40 destroyers. I'm not overly concerned about sinking every one of them. Okay. We are picking up all the survivors from the convoy, apparently. Very nice of us. Pretty good simulated behavior. 3 or 4 of our destroyers over here sailing around, picking them up. God, that's a lot of sunken ships. Okay. Who spotted an unknown ship? Okay, there's something just off the coast up here. The fleet's become very scattered, but that's fine because we've sunk everything that's a real threat. That's a small something that's steaming in circles. It's a destroyer. It sank. Bye. The Japanese still engaging this solitary corvette? Looks like it. Are we in... We're almost in sighting range over the land, which makes no sense, but I bet is not a problem. Also, we're all of, like, a couple 100 yards off the coast with our battleships, which is also weird. You know what? Yes, just enter port. Good grief. You guys are ridiculous. Can't sink a single corvette that's hanging directly off one of our ports here. Maybe our actual fleet can get the job done on its way into port. Everybody take some pot shots as you go by, eh? Ah, hit. I don't know how big this corvette is, but it cannot be that big. Oh, it's 1,700 tons, which is a pretty sizable corvette. I guess that's why it didn't sink yet. Honestly, no, because I really would like you to just sink this damned corvette. Where did Pueblo go? Oh, she's out there. Okay. Oh, I think we finally got the Corvette. It's stationary. Not sure why Frederick just detached herself. I think it was to move independently against a nearby enemy, as they say. I'm also not sure how to manually enter port, really, so Charlotte's just going to kind of sit there. Doing that normal thing. There we go. Okay, that's pretty much the battle. Congratulations, Pueblo, you're the new force flag. You're also the only ship left at sea. Please enter port. Corvette is gone. Wouldn't be surprised if there weren't any Spanish ships at sea yet either. We have no ships left at sea. Okay. That just about makes up for the battleship we lost. That's a pretty crushing win. Aside from sinking 15 transports, we took no severe damage and no sunken ships of our own. And we sank the Corvette Dorado, the destroyers T-15, T-17, and T-5, which are, two of them are 500 tonners, one of them is a 400 tonner. And we sank the light cruiser Gravina, which, to be fair, is a garbage light cruiser. But a couple of 12-inch shells pretty much took care of her. We sank the armored cruisers Princesa de Asturias and Cataluna. Basically, with just absolutely overwhelming firepower. I don't know why Spain doesn't move. Oof, Cataluna really, really took a beating. I mean, she's a 9,000-ton cruiser, so she can take a bit of a beating, but 21 12-inch shells plus 44 8 and 6-inch shells plus 60 smaller shells. That's a lot. I'm looking for where it actually says she's sinking. Oh, it says she was sinking. I mean, really only about 15 minutes before we mostly stopped shooting at her, but like so many shells before we stopped shooting at her. Oh well. Didn't hurt anything. So yeah, 2 armored cruisers, a light cruiser, 3 destroyers, and a Corvette sunk, plus 15 transports, which is, I think, probably the entire convoy. No permanent losses on our part. We gained some prestige. Battle of the Windward Passage, a big win for us. Negotiated peace. Continued operations will secure our total victory. Mutually unacceptable demands. And Japan's stealing from us. Let's just revoke the alliance mid-war. No, I'm gonna... Well, we'll send a diplomatic note, okay? But... What? We crushingly won the battle in support of it. What does Spain have guarding Guantanamo Bay? Good grief. And Japan has lost the armored cruiser Kasuga to the Germans. Okay. This I can start building. I'm going to lay down about... I can't actually afford 4 of these. I'm going to lay down 2 of these for now. I mean, we're clearly winning VP-wise, but how on earth... Why did you fail to invade Guantanamo Bay, guys? That's just absurd. It was so easy. It's completely defenseless, basically. There's not even, I mean... Apparently we're outnumbered again because Germany's battleships are here. Maybe once we have decisive superiority because of our extra battleships arriving. That'll take a while, but... Also, Germany's got more battleships coming. It is all heading... It's all coming to a head in the Caribbean, I would say. Probably. If Germany actually gets 7 battleships to here, and we get, 8, 9... 9? Do we have 6 coming? No, we have 4 coming, right, because 2 of those couldn't come with. They haven't really left anything significant here. I should probably just move more out, but whatever. So we'll have 7 battleships here. They'll have 7 battleships here. Plus whatever Spain can move, but I'm really beginning to think Spain's battleships are all short-ranged, to be honest. Maybe even some of their other stuff. Like, well, most of their cruisers have left Europe at least, but I think the decisive battle may very well be fought in the Caribbean. When it does, it should be quite an interesting one. I think we should be able to win it, but time will tell. That'll be all for this part, though, guys. Thanks for watching, and goodbye. Thanks for watching, sailors. I hope you enjoyed the video. New parts should be up daily, or you can watch live on Twitch. If you did enjoy the video, consider leaving a like or subscribing. This is Sea Lord Janda, signing off.